Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So you touched on a lot of themes that my question's about, and over the last decade, I've died and left my body, and I was struck by lightning.
Oh, all right. How exciting.
And for a while, it was really confusing because I started to channel different people's repressed emotions, and even started to connect to this idea that you're talking about, where these parallel realities. So it's sort of like connecting to the oversoul in a number of different pieces. And I started seeing how certain alignments could exist on our planet and locally and in people's sort of ideology.
Yes.
And because I've witnessed this, I feel somewhat responsible for the witnessing of this.
That's all right,
reality.
but just please remember, the definition of responsibility is simply the ability to respond.
Okay.
That's all.
Right. And I guess in some of the responses, I see some people in pain or in turmoil.
Yes.
And to me, being able to have this extra sense of...
Yes.
Yeah, just this extra sense, I guess. I don't even know what to really call it. Because I feel like sometimes I'm connecting to the sensation at the foundation of sense perception.
It gives you an opportunity to understand their perspective so that you can be of assistance to them when and where they choose to allow you to assist. Yes.
Right. And so what I'm trying to understand is the discernment between these different parallel dimensions, because sometimes it's quite conflicting, because I feel like there's a aspect that's sort of like help and I need an assistance, and this other aspect that's sort of fighting against the assistance. And so sometimes I feel like, am I just not supposed to do anything? Should I just keep my mouth shut?
No. Let the synchronicity of your life show you where you can be of assistance by sharing whatever it is you are moved through your excitement to share. But be aware that some people may still, at a certain point, as we said earlier in this conversation, resist any additional sharing or information or assistance. When you reach that point, back off.
Right.
Give them their due. Let them show you what path they're on, because they may need to sit within whatever they're experiencing for a while. You can never be the determiner of how they need to go through their process. But you can know that if synchronicity has brought you into their lives and them into your life, that there is some reason for it, and you can simply give whatever it is you are able to give as a sharing, as an assistance, as a help, but not beyond the point where you start receiving reflections that they no longer request it.
Right.
It's that simple. Mm-hmm. Does that help?
That does.
Keep it simple, keep it clear. There is no need to be confused about it.
Right. And
just
then
see what's going on in the reality, see what's going on in them. There's no reason to push, there's no reason to force. Remember, everyone is an eternal, indestructible being. What's your hurry?
Right.
Yes?
So I feel like one of the things I've experienced in this is that we kind of inhabit our own limitations.
Of course.
And there's a greater aspect, I think, maybe of all of us, where we are
of course
these eternal beings, and it seems like I sort of say death is a ritual that most believe in, so it occurs.
All right. Well, may I let you in on a little secret?
Yeah, please.
Oh, all right. Just you, though, no one else.
Okay. Plug your
Kidding. Here's the truth. All of you, right now, are still in spirit. Mm-hmm. That's your natural state. You're dreaming that you're not. But you're in spirit having this dream of physical reality. But you're still in spirit. You never leave spirit. Never. It's not possible. You're just dreaming that you have.
So in that sense, is it possible for us to create a dream where we stop going through cycles of birth and death and pain and pleasure? And
yes.
Okay.
And that's called waking up.
Right.
Into more of yourself. It doesn't mean you won't still have challenges, but that doesn't have to include the idea of suffering. That's an outmoded idea. Yes? Now's the time for you to let go of the need to have to suffer in order to deserve freedom. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. You deserve it anyway by your nature. So by all means, challenge yourselves, but that's exciting, that's fun. You don't need to suffer in order to do it. You can let go of that outmoded definition. Yes?
So what would you say is maybe a fundamental thing that all of us could do to be less limited?
I already have told you. The formula is as simple as 1, 2, 3. Act every moment that you can on the thing that contains more excitement than anything else. Do it to the best you are able to do it within the context of the parameters of your society. And do it with absolutely zero, and I mean zero, insistence or assumption as to what the outcome has to look like. Even the idea of assuming that what excites you has to come to fruition is an expectation you need to drop. Because many times the thing that excites you, the form the excitement comes in, doesn't mean that that thing has to come to fruition. It may only be exciting you just to get you to move into a different state of being, and then the thing that you really need to do is more easily presented to you. So never assume that the thing that excites you has to be the thing that comes to fruition. It might, but you don't know that. So never assume that you know that, because you don't know that. There might actually be something better to come along, and very often there is. When you understand that your visualization of what you believe to be the ideal outcome is actually a limitation on what could happen, you will start to drop the need for that outcome to happen in the way your physical mind has seen it. By all means, you can use visualization as a symbol of the energy state of the ideal outcome. Seeing an ideal outcome in your mind's eye gets you excited about the probability that that might happen. But don't become insistent that it must happen the way your physical mind sees it. Just maintain the state of excitement it put you in and drop the picture utterly. When you surrender the picture, you are surrendering to the higher mind, to all that is, to source, and you're allowing it to then fill the space with the manifestation that is actually representative of the state of being that the visualization put you in.
So the visualization is a tool.
It's a tool, it's a symbol, it's a representation, and quite often is actually far more limited than what your higher mind could actually bring you, which might be far, far grander. So don't limit yourself by assuming that the tool is the end-all, be-all. It's just a tool to get you in the proper state to allow what really needs to happen to happen. Make sense?
Total.
Does this help?
Yes.
Why, thank you.
Thank you.
I know you, good day.
Good day.
Speak up, speak up.
Sorry, I wasn't close enough. I have a question for individuals and societies that are stuck in patterns of fear. And
no one is stuck. The answer is to understand that it's all about how you define yourself. And the idea of being stuck is not a fact, it's a belief. So if you can get in touch with the belief about why you believe you're stuck and recognize that it is just a nonsensical, illogical belief that has nothing to do with your true self, then you will drop that belief and you will no longer feel stuck. That's how it works. Every single experience you have, every single experience you can ever have in physical reality is the result of something you believe to be true.
yes.
So when you get in touch with what those definitional beliefs are, then once you make them conscious instead of leaving them in the unconscious mind, it will make sense why you're experiencing things the way you're experiencing them. Because everything you experience, every emotion you have, every circumstance you experience, every thought you have, and every behavior you have stems from something you believe to be true first. So you can always trace your behaviors, your thoughts, your emotions, your experiences back to what you must believe to be true in order for you to be experiencing the situation this way. And it doesn't even mean that the situation has to look any different on the surface. The true measure of change is not whether the outside world changes. It's whether or not you respond differently to it, even if it still looks the same. That's the proof you've changed. And when you truly have changed, then the outside, more often than not, will change to reflect that. But if you need the outside to change in order to prove to yourself that you've changed, you're working it backwards because you're still making the change conditional on what happens on the outside instead of just making a statement of what is true for you. Because it doesn't matter how the circumstance may look, you can still get a beneficial effect from any circumstance if you give it a positive meaning for yourself. So who cares how it looks if all circumstances can give you a positive outcome? That's why the outside doesn't have to change in order for you to experience a very different reality, even in the very same circumstance that might have felt negative a moment ago. Does that make sense?
It does.
Does this help?
It does.
So look to the definitions. Anytime you feel stuck, remember that you can't have a feeling in a vacuum. The feeling must be coming from something you believe to be true, some definition within you that you're unaware of. Ask the question, what would I have to believe is true about myself in relation to this circumstance that allows me to feel the way I do? If you're willing to hear the answer in some way, shape, or form, whether in dreams, in synchronicity, what have you, the answer will come. And the definition will present itself to you if you're willing to hear it. And once you identify it, you will usually find more often than not that any definition that is negative in that way, out of alignment with your true self, doesn't even belong to you. It probably came from your parents, from your schooling, from your society, from your friends, and you've just bought into it as if it's a fact. But when you realize that it's just an opinion, it's just a belief, it's just a perspective, and that it really belongs to someone else's process, then you can let it go. The facts, in the sense, the definitional facts that belong to you weigh nothing. If you feel like you're dragging baggage around, it's because the bags belong to someone else. You understand? Your own bags weigh nothing. So that's how you can tell the difference. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
Does that help you?
It does. I have one second question.
Yes.
When somebody is in a fear vibration, how can they, in a sense, quantum leap from that into what they know is their true selves when they're
redefine fear. What is fear? Fear is a messenger knocking on your door saying, hey, I'm attempting to get your attention to let you know you're holding on to a belief that doesn't serve you. That's what fear is. Redefine it. And then you can go, oh, thank you, fear. You're a good friend for letting me know something I need to know about myself. Thank you for doing your job so well. Now you can go on your way because you've delivered your message. Now, pay attention to this. I'll be a little bit more precise about it. Every single belief system has one common trait, and that is it does everything in its power to perpetuate itself. So the negative beliefs will use fear to perpetuate themselves. And the barometer is actually paradoxical. The greater the fear, the closer you are to freedom, because that means the negative belief is using every trick in the book to get you to be afraid to change. And so the greater the fear means it's having to work that much harder because you're that much closer to letting that negative belief go. So don't be duped by the fact that the fear escalates. It's just the negative belief using every single trick in its book, every single smoke and mirror, every single lie that it can to convince you of the reality of the negative belief so you won't let it go because that's what it's designed to do. But if you know that, and you know it's just smoke and mirrors, you know it's just a trick, then you can see behind the curtain and say, oh, good one, thank you. You almost had me there, but I know it's just a belief, and what I really know is any belief can be changed. So your tricks can't work on me. You see, this quality, this trait of negative beliefs is actually the origin of the ancient biblical phrase, the father of lies. Do you understand? Negative beliefs have to lie to you to convince you that they're real, whereas positive ones don't, because they are the truth. But the negative ones know they're not. So they have to give you falsehoods about yourself. You're not worthy. You're not deserving. Don't try. You'll fail. And won't that feel terrible? Stay here in this safe little dark corner where you never have to worry that you'll fail. It has to give you all of these falsehoods to convince you to stay there because it's not the truth. So it has to work that much harder. And the way it works harder is by amping up the fear. But that's how you know you're really close to freedom. As you say on your planet, darkest before the dawn, most fearful before the breakthrough. So laugh at the fear. Ha ha, good one. Nice try. You're doing your job. Well done. But I'm not buying it anymore. You understand?
I do.
Back to when I was 2, to like what I was wearing, to what day it was.
Yes.
And sometimes when I dream, like I can imagine this one moment, and
Yes.
it normally does happen to me a while after.
Yes.
While I'm awake.
You're
and
simply tapping into what we call the template level reality, where you lay out the blueprint of your physical experience. And therefore, by tapping into it and being aware of it, you can see what you've already set up for your physical life coming to pass and recognize it when it happens.
Oh, well, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Yes.
And I would just like to know what all these things mean. Like if I have a spiritual guide, like what...
Yes, of course, you all have
memories-
guides. What you're hearing is your own higher mind and some of your spirit guides, and maybe a few other beings here and there that tap in when they need to. You all have a big support system, you know. You're never alone. Not really.
Thank you. Another question I have is, almost every person I've met has said that I've had an old soul.
An old soul idea, really, since you're all eternal and infinite anyway, is simply a perspective that a particular being may have connections, many, many connections of experience into a particular reality. So an old soul is someone who has a lot of experience in a particular reality.
Okay.
It doesn't mean you're actually older than any other soul on that level.
Yeah, for sure. So it means so would it mean that I would have like another soul in a different
It means you are making connections to many other lives that are having different experiences that all inform you in this life, and you may be connecting to more than average.
Okay.
Many people might be connecting to, let's say, several hundred other lives simultaneously. Maybe old souls will be connecting to several thousand lives simultaneously. And from the linear space-time perspective, that's what makes them seem old. Because the physical human mind can't quite imagine how all that experience could happen if you weren't old. But it's just because you're tapping into so many sources of information.
Thank you.
Does that help?
Yes. I have another question.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
Because I think I'm wasting a lot of time.
You are not wasting anything.
Okay.
Everyone has the ability to learn something from what you're sharing.
Okay, thank you. I've always had a connection with water. Like every time like I go to a beach, like I would just want to like live in the ocean forever.
Yes, well, you have a
Same
very
thing-
strong connection to Sirius and the dolphin energies. Do you go and play with the dolphins?
I actually have. I've gone diving with dolphins, and I
All
had
right.
like a connection.
So
like
you're
that.
exemplifying a recognition that you have a very strong connection to the star system of Sirius, to whom the dolphins are also telepathically connected, and it's one of the strong connections that you have that you're playing out in this life.
Thank you. I also have the same.
Well, I had nothing to do with it.
I have. I also have the same connection with nature in that
Yes,
sort.
yes.
What does that mean?
What do you mean? What does it mean? It means
Like-
you have a strong connection to nature,
No.
so that you can use that connection to inform your life, to apply that energy, that state of being, to act from the state of being you find yourself in nature, and act from that state of being in everything that you do will allow you to act in the most aligned way to your true frequency. You're using nature as a reflection to understand your true state of being, your true essence. So act from that state of being, and you'll always be in alignment with yourself. That's what nature is showing you, that you are a part of nature too. So use your nature, your true nature in life.
My last question is, when you were talking about like everyone has a spirit and that you're dreaming and that reality is just a dream.
In a sense,
Is it
yes.
in the sense that when you die, you actually wake up from that dream?
Very much so.
And when you wake up, what area, like what place would you be in?
Whatever you want. There's no real time lag in spirit. Wherever you imagine yourself to be is where you will be. Remember, you're dreaming right now. So wherever you imagine yourself to be right now is a projection of consciousness, is a dream. But there is a time factor in it. It seems to take time for you to shift the idea of location. In spirit, that won't happen. As soon as you think it, as soon as you imagine it, you're there. wherever that may be. Yes?
Yes. And
I thought you said that was your last question.
well, no, it made me think of it. On track of that question, do you believe in like heaven and hell?
Do
Or-
we believe in them?
Well, no,
We
like,
know that they are states of being. It is possible for you to choose to experience, but you're the one creating the state of being. Now, yes, there are archetypal levels to it because your collective consciousness says there can be such experiences. And so you can create places that may seem to be outside of you that you can go to, like heaven and hell, but you're still creating it, whether from a collective level or an individual level. You're still creating it within your consciousness. And by the way, even if most individuals believe in the idea on your planet that they might go to hell, trust me, if they actually have that experience when they die because they believe so strongly they would, the very second they don't like it, they're out of it. Do you understand?
yes.
Because it is a real experience, but it's still happening within your consciousness. And the second you think you would rather be somewhere else, you are.
Thank you.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I was wondering if you might offer some advice on releasing and letting go that I could use for myself and also express to others.
Releasing from what?
Things that no longer serve you.
Well, what keeps you holding on to them if you know they don't serve you? That would be the question. Remember that you all have a motivational mechanism. The motivational mechanism works like this. You always, and I mean without fail here, without fail, and I mean automatically, and I mean immediately, always, without fail, will always move in the direction of what you believe benefits you. You will always move away instantly from what you believe does not. So if you find that you are holding on to things that you know don't benefit you, yet you're still holding on to them, there must be a definition that says that for some reason, that thing is actually more beneficial being held on to than being let go of. You have to find the definition that makes it appear to be the better choice and find the contradiction in that definition. For example, an example we often give, because many of you relate to the idea of money on your planet, is that many people on your planet are brought up with this idea that if you don't make a lot of money, you're not successful. At the same time, they're also brought up with the idea that the love of money is the root of all evil. And if you are hoarding money, you become a bad, greedy person. If you grow up with this conflicting belief system, you have to decide what's more important to you. Well, I'd rather be a good person, which according to this conflicting belief means I can't attract any money. Now, when you dive down and you realize that that actually is the belief, that if you attract money, you're a bad person, you can say, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. There are many people who are very wealthy, who are very good people. The idea of simply having a lot of abundance in whatever form it may come, a lot of wealth, does not automatically mean you're a greedy, bad, corrupt person. So that is a fallacy. It's a contradictory definition. And once you know that, you can then say, well, I understand that I can be a good person and still attract whatever form of abundance I need. I don't have to believe that it automatically makes me bad or greedy or any of those things. I have seen the falsehood in that contradictory definition. And once you see that it's illogical and nonsensical, it's automatically gone. You have automatically released it. But it has to appear nonsensical before you will release it. As long as it makes sense, as we said earlier, the negative belief saying, please don't try, you may fail, and then you'll be even worse off than you are now. Stay here where it's safe. I know you don't prefer this, but it's safer, isn't it? Warm and comfy. Stay here because it's the familiar. It's the devil you know as opposed to the devil you don't. Ooh, scary out there. When you understand that that's just a belief, you can say, it doesn't have to be so. It's not a fact. It's just a point of view. And now it makes no sense to hold on to that, and so you have let it go when it makes no sense. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Does that help you then?
It does.
Are you motivated to find the beliefs that don't work for you and let them go?
I am.
And remember, the process of your life will always be about letting something go. It doesn't mean you will always have negative beliefs, but at some point, if you have divested yourself in this lifetime of all the negative beliefs you need to divest yourself of, you will still be letting go of things. It's just that they won't be negative beliefs. They will, from that point forward, simply be things that are no longer relevant for you. You will streamline yourself continuously until you have, in your own estimation, served the purpose of the theme in this life. And you will move on. It's as simple as that. But again, remember, even if you don't, you are still eternal. You still have many, many, many options. You can still look at things from another point of view when you go into spirit. Even if you feel the life was not exactly what you would have preferred, it doesn't matter, because the spirit and the soul always knows how to use whatever experience you had in life in a way that serves the growth of the soul. So do not fear, do not fret, just do your best. That's all you need to do. You're fine. Don't worry so much. Lighten up a bit. Remember, don't take things so seriously. And the first step toward true enlightenment is to lighten up on yourself. Does that help?
It does.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Oh, good day. So you've talked a lot today about excitement, sort of
Yes.
using excitement as a compass for your life. What do you say to if you can't find the excitement in your life?
I already answered that. That's not possible. That takes a real will to not find it. Because as we said, it's very simple. You are here today because this excited you more than another choice. When you leave this conversation today, stop, take stock, and go, what are my options? Taking a walk, reading a book, having lunch with a friend, seeing a movie, writing something, painting something, whatever it is, just pick the one that contains even just a little bit more attractiveness, a little bit more excitement in it than any other option, and do that first. That's all you need to do. It's that simple. It's not a big mystery. That's why it's very easy to act on your excitement and doesn't need to be confusing. If you really don't know what your excitement is in any options that you have, then that takes a concerted effort to ignore what could be exciting you.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I do.
Does
Thank
that
you.
help you?
Kind of, but thank
Kind
you.
of. All right. Well, what's missing for you?
Because I think it's difficult to find.
That's a belief.
Right.
It's not a fact. That's a belief. So what would help you would be to spend some time finding out why you think that belief is true when it doesn't have to be. So that's one step you could do to clear the way to recognize your excitement more easily.
Okay.
Is let go of beliefs that make it appear to be difficult to do so. There is no such thing as an inherently difficult circumstance. No such thing. There is only your belief that makes it appear difficult. Never assume that what comes out of your mouth is a fact. It's just a point of view. It's just an opinion. There are only 5 facts that we have ever discovered in existence. We call them the 5 laws. Number 1, you exist. Nothing you can do about that. Nothing. That's a fact. Number 2, everything is here and now. There's nothing you can do about that. Number 3, the one is the all are the one. There is absolutely nothing you can do about that. Number 4, what you put out is what you get back. No way you can change that. And number 5, everything changes except the 5 laws. That's it. Those are the only 5 facts we have ever discovered in existence. Everything else, and I mean everything else, is an opinion. So when you hear yourself saying, well, that's very difficult, stop yourself. Wait a minute. That's not a fact. It's a point of view. It's a belief. And I now know a belief can be changed. So change it to the belief you prefer. This may be challenging, but challenges are fun. It's easy because it's just a challenge, and that's what I'm here to experience anyway. Oh, joy. And then it won't be difficult anymore. It'll be something else because you've redefined. And we thank each and every one of you and all of you together for the co-creation of this interaction, the allowance of this transmission. Our unconditional love to you all, and we bid you all an exciting day of discovery.